Hello and welcome to the Pink Grape. My name is Anthony Metzger. I'm a winemaker and certified sommelier. Here at the Pink Grape, I interview winemakers from all over the planet. I conduct my interviews via Skype and record them live to bring you face-to-face with winemakers from all over the world. So without further ado, please enjoy the show and be sure to subscribe. Well, Simon, welcome to the show, Wines of the World. Thanks for being on today.
Yeah, thanks Anthony. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. So you're a winemaker from Australia. And
Yeah,
how did you become a winemaker? How did you get into the industry?
yeah, it all started when I was age 15 years old. A friend of mine, his uncle had a vineyard in the Hunter Valley. So school holidays, we'd go there and work, whether it was pruning or desuckering or lifting foliage wires.
Oh, okay.
And it just seemed like a great sort of career path from there. So once I finished high school, went on to university and all sort of went from there.
Nice, very cool. And you've done some winemaking overseas, correct?
Yeah, I've done a few vintages overseas. I've worked in the Languedoc, also in an area just outside of Bordeaux.
Okay.
And also in the Mosel.
Oh, nice. And did you work in the U.S. at all, or did you just go for your travels?
Yeah, just some travel, bit of wine tasting.
Oh, okay, I see. All right.
Yeah, so the US trip was great. We went through the Napa, Sonoma, Monterey, Paso Robles.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, right through Santa Barbara. So yeah, it was a great trip.
Nice. And what did you think of California and California wine and the people, and what were your impressions?
Yeah, I was impressed overall. All the wines I tasted were clean. I thought there was a lot of attention to detail or painting, especially with the tannin levels.
Sure.
I thought looking at the big reds like the Cabernet, Petit Syrah, I thought they were handled quite well. And just impressed with everything I saw, especially the tasting room experiences.
Oh, okay.
I thought the hospitality was great, the way they handled when you sit down, you go through the tasting, through the flights of wine. I think it's pretty well done.
Nice, yeah. If you could work anywhere and do a harvest anywhere in the world, where would you like to go and do a harvest?
I think an interesting place to do a harvest would be the Republic of Georgia.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, there's some interesting things going on at the moment over there. The wine scene's going through quite a lot of resurgence. See, they've been making wine there for about 8,000 years, so there's a lot of history involved. The wine culture there is huge. Most people sort of make wine in their backyard.
Yeah.
It's an everyday thing. So it'd be great to learn about the Quevri winemaking practices.
Absolutely.
That'd be pretty interesting. And I think also just a huge spectrum of grape varieties that are indigenous to Georgia. Would be great to see what's going on over there and to get involved with the industry there.
Definitely. Yeah, that'd be a really, really cool place to go and learn some of the historic winemaking ways of the world. So from your travels, to Europe, to the U.S., what's like your favorite memory or your favorite story from your travels and making wine? Related or not to wine, but just your wine travels.
So we finished up vintage in the Languedoc, so we caught the train over to Marmande, and we got off the train and we met this little Frenchman. His name was Gilbert, and he had a little panel van, a little Kangoo.
Okay,
and so we'd never met this guy before. We turned up and he says, yeah, jump in the back of my van. So we jump in the back of this stranger's van with our luggage and we climb in and we drive off to his house, and my wife stayed behind at his house with the family, and then I went with Gilbert to the winery. We went straight into work and we got working, and it was just a great experience working with a small family production facility. And it was an interesting place we worked because it was a shooting area right next door, so hunting guys would come in and hunt, so they'd be hunting deer and wild kids, and occasionally you'd see hunters running through the vineyard, letting off the shotgun, trying to make games, and also the birds that would fly overhead, there'd be guys taking down the birds to go ahead, so it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, with the hunters in Minnesota here, we're starting to plant vineyards, and we never really had vineyards before, and so the thing is we have a lot of forest and cornfields here, so when we plant the vineyards, we get a lot of wildlife too. And so hunters are actually a friend of the vineyard, because with all the birds and the deer, if you're not careful, they'll eat up all your grapes and then you can't make wine. So that's the hunters are friends, that's for sure.
And then the birds that they shot were delicious. They cooked up. When I was cooked up some of the birds, and it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it went really good with the wine there. Yeah, for sure. Nice. Okay, so you're on your honeymoon, you're in Las Vegas, and you're playing the slot machines, and you just win, like say $15,000 or $20,000. You're already celebrating. Now you win all this money. Now you're gonna go out to like a nightclub and celebrate. What kind of wine would you drink in the nightclub after winning at the slot machines and being on your honeymoon?
Look, it'd definitely have to be champagne.
Okay.
Of course, yeah, that'd be the go-to wine for a celebratory drink for sure.
Champagne?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's actually a wine I hear a lot when it comes to celebration is champagne. And I totally agree. Celebrate, you think champagne. But what is like another wine you can drink in a moment of celebration other than champagne?
Things like rosé are pretty universal. They're great to have at any time with any sort of food.
Yep. Yeah, rosé is a good one actually because it's the color and the refreshingness is really festive too. So yeah, that could work really well. So now you are in South Korea and you just ordered some of the local food. It's got a sweet and sour kind of tang to it. What kind of wine are you going to have with Asian food that's got that sweet and sour tang to it?
Yeah, once again, it would be a sparkling wine, whether it's a champagne or another traditional method of sparkling wine, because it goes well with the whole range of dishes, especially the East Asian dishes, and it also works well. There's probably going to be a bit of chili in there, or dish, and that'll help balance that out for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, another one I hear too that goes well with the Asian foods is a Riesling.
It definitely does.
Because it's got nice acidity, and then it's also got like a sweetness that can match that sweet and tanginess of the food. I always end with this one question, and that is, if you could drink a bottle of wine with anybody on earth, who would it be? Or anybody from history?
Yeah, look, I'll probably choose someone who's around today. It'd have to be someone with a pretty good sense of humour. So I'm thinking someone like Ricky Gervais. He'd be a lot of fun to open a bottle of wine, and if it's any sort of wine, let's go with the DRC.
And who'd you say? Ricky who?
Ricky Gervais. So he's the British comedian.
Oh, okay.
He's done the films like the TV show The Office. I think there's an American version as well.
Yeah.
He hosts some of the award shows. I think he's like the Golden Globes. I think he's hosted a few times. He does a bit of stand-up.
Oh, sure.
Does by the TV shows. Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that show The Office, we get it here in the U.S. and it's hilarious. So yeah, okay. Is there anything else you want to share about anything, or?
Can I ask a question for you? Is that all right?
Yeah, shoot away.
Yes. Where would you want to do a vintage if you could choose anywhere in the world?
Anywhere in the world if I could do a vintage. I was actually really close to doing one, and I'd still probably like to, is down underneath Perth there. Is it Margaret River?
Margaret River, yeah.
That actually intrigues me because of the fact that it's the most isolated place on earth pretty much, and then I know people that have gone there. I've interviewed people that have worked there, and they say it's kind of like Hawaii, like real tropical and beautiful. So I think it'd be sweet to just kind of be away from everything and kind of be in the corner of the earth and just kind of chill out, make wine, sit on the beach on your days off, and just kind of just live in the moment. I feel like you could live in the moment there. So I think that'd be a cool one. I've been to Armenia. I didn't work there as a winemaker, but I filmed a wine documentary for this website, which is not live yet. I haven't released it yet. But so that also part of the world intrigues me. And if I were to open up a winery, I think I would like to incorporate the Kevri winemaking system. I mean, I definitely would. So I would like to learn about that too. But I think to answer your question, there's so many places Champagne would be really cool. But Margaret River is probably one I'd really like to pursue.
I guess that's about it. If anyone wants to follow what I do with travels and winemaking, whatever, just head over to Instagram or Facebook, Hines the Winemaker.
Okay.
I'll like to know when you stop me what we're doing for wine, the wines we're drinking, and travel. We've got some overseas travel this year as well, so there's some exciting things coming up there.
Alrighty, well, have a good rest of your day, and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, thanks. Good luck with the series.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, Simon.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of The Pink Grape. Make sure you check in next week as I'll be releasing a new interview with a winemaker. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask a winemaker during any of my interviews, just reach out to me through my social media accounts, which you can find on my website, thepinkgrape.com. Make sure you check out my website this week, as I'll be releasing some really fun, interesting wine stories. Thank you, and please be sure to subscribe.